All right, welcome everyone. It's Ken here with Binary Pro Strategies. This is going to be our trading recap for the week ending October 18th of 2019. What I did differently this week, first of all, last week I went ahead and I released the new PAP video. If you are an existing member, be sure to watch that video. I will be keeping that up for a short period of time. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance. If you are a present member, or let's say you purchased a package within the last 3 months, you still have access to that. Okay. But the important thing about the PAP pattern, it's the strongest pattern that I have outside of the crystal ball. So all the trades that I made this week were based on the PAP pattern, except Thursday night. I do trade crystal ball on Thursday night. And the other thing I did differently this week is I wanted to show how important it is to set an objective. And using the PAP pattern becomes a lot easier in hitting your objective early in the day compared to just trading all the different patterns and trading all day long. It's something I've never recommended. I always recommend to come in and trade with the goal in mind of having an objective, whether it be 50, 100, whatever the case may be. My objective was to stop trading once I hit $500. Sunday night, actually, there was no trading Sunday night. We were here, but NADEX was having trouble with their platform. So we were unable to do any trading Sunday night. But nonetheless, unfortunately, it would have been a really good night because there's a lot of really good, strong setups with PAP. But the rest of the week turned out to be quite profitable with the idea that I'm coming in and I'm trying to hit my objective. Now, Monday, I did not hit my objective, but I got pretty close. The way I trade in the mornings, I'm always trading from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That is Central Time. If you're East Coast, that would be 9 to 4. So I start exactly at 8, I end exactly at 3, and whatever my net result is, that's where I'm at. So all day, and so I did not hit my $500 objective. But most of the other days where I did hit my objective, I hit it very early. Now, Wednesday was a very unusual choppy day. I didn't get a whole lot of really good signals or setups, I should say. And one thing that did hurt me is I always talk about size. It's important to adjust size. And I gave back some putting size on a trade that turned out not to be as strong as I thought it was going to be. That's going to happen. But in order to have, these type of returns, it's so important to learn how to adjust size. And it's not something that's in black and white. It's something that you gain through experience working with these patterns, because over time you understand the personality and how each pattern works in the different currency pairs. And also you do get indications of when you have a particular setup that's going to be strong compared to when a setup may not be as strong. Now, all these trades that I'm making, I did not use any kind of EOM whatsoever. So that's why I call them naked. These are basically naked trades in the sense that I wasn't even looking at EOM. I was just trading the pattern straight, and still had some really outstanding results. Could I have done better by using my EOM filter? Probably so. But at the same time, I like the fact that PAP gives me a lot more opportunities. So instead of having maybe half those opportunities trading, filtering it with the EOM, I like the fact that I have a lot more opportunities. So that's the key when you're trading. Any strategy, you want to make sure that you have plenty of opportunities if your goal is to make money on a daily basis. If your goal is not, you don't care about that. If you want to make money maybe over a week's period of time, then that's obviously not going to be as important as if you're trying to do it on a daily basis. So opportunity is real important. On average, most during the day, I usually get somewhere between 15 to 20 setups just with PAP during the session, and then at night I'm probably going to get somewhere between 4 and 5. But what's interesting to note is, and if you go back and look at some of my prior videos, you'll see that what it takes me over a 7-hour period of time to make in the morning session, I can get close to, is sometimes even more. Trading just a 2-hour session at night. So always recommend that if you're new to trading and maybe your account is not very large and you want to be as conservative as possible, then you have two opportunities. One is you can trade later in the afternoon, during the morning session, and or trade just at night. Okay, and so anyway, those are results. What I'm going to do different this week, I'm going to show you some of the charts for the nightly sessions so you can kind of see some of those setups. I have been showing you the daily charts. Also, if anybody is interested in getting the daily updates, I do send the charts out as well as the stats and my net result for that particular day. If you sign up for Instagram, just go to Pro Strategies. That's Pro Strategies, and get on the list there, and I'll make sure that you also get a copy. But I do send those out every night if you like to follow it a little bit closer. All right. So let's take a look at some of the charts. And let's see what it looks like. Obviously, not going to have a Sunday night chart. There's no trading, but we can look at the rest of the week. So let's go ahead and pull those up. Okay, tell you what. Let's take a look. One thing we forgot to look at is let's take a look at our naked signals. Something I've been showing every week now. Members obviously have access to this during the day. This is really important. We do keep track of how strong a particular pair is. What we found is that typically what is strong at the first part of the day tends to continue to be strong for the rest of the day, and a lot of times that will carry in at night as well. So anyway, as you can see, probably the weakest out of all of them was probably the pound US. Honestly, I don't do a lot of trading of the pound US during the day. I will take some trades on it, but I also will trade a little bit more at night. The pound tends to do much better in the evening. There are some reasons for that. But overall, I mean, a decent, these are, decent probabilities. Once again, a naked signal is any signal that is not filtered out through EOM or any of the other patterns that I look at. So whether I'm looking at an Aussie or a Euro or a pound or a US, I'm just looking at the naked signal, meaning that when a particular pattern came up and it said to buy it, if you just blindly bought it and or sold it, these would be the probabilities of success. Once again, not using any other types of filters whatsoever. Can do much better than this using filters, but the important thing is that even if you don't have a filter, which depending on what kind of filter you're using, I'm not talking about using any kind of anything that has to be optimized, like some sort of indicator, moving average, stochastics, none of that. Bollinger Bands, don't use any of those things. I don't feel that that's going to be helpful for you when you're trading 5 minutes. But I do have some really good patterns that will filter out a lot of the noise, and but this is without using any kind of filter. So really good, very strong. And so even if you're not real good at using any kind of filtration, you can still have some really high probability trades. All right, so let's show you that. Now we can jump over and let's take a look at our charts now. We're going to start with Monday night. I'm going to do the yen so everybody can see the yen. I'll take it through the whole week on the yen, and you can see some of these setups here. All right, here's Sunday night. This is only on the yen. Of course, when I'm trading, I am trading usually the Euro US. I will look at the pound US at night, the US yen, and the euro. So this is just of the US yen. You can see only 3 signals all night over a 2-hour period. 2 wins and a loss, but still a very good night overall because I did hit my objective that night. But once again, I usually do trade several pairs at a time. Not recommended for anybody just starting off. always say stick with just one pair. Always recommend either the Aussie US or the Euro US. Those are probably the wideliest traded pairs. Also continue to have the highest probabilities. And also they don't have some erratic moves that we typically see in the yen. So I think that's the best way to start off. Once you get used to the patterns, get some size in your account, then you can start diversifying and trading more than one pair. Anyway, let's take a look at Tuesday night's chart, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, here's Tuesday night for the yen. Here's all the PAP setups for this particular night. I had a total of 5. That's certainly within range of what I would expect per each pair. The number of setups, you can see it had it had 5 wins, 2 losses. The yen was probably one of the weakest ones I had all week. It was coming in at 63% at night, was running 83% during the day. But nonetheless, still did well overall for this night. Once again, Tuesday night hit my objective. And I do know one of the things that's kind of unique about the PAP pattern is it will give me an indication which particular setup will tend to have a very, very high probability of not only having a nice a nice win, but also the size of the move. This was one right over here with the little red arrow. That's something that I explain once you become a member. But when you see these little red or green arrows, those are usually really strong setups within the PAP patterns. And I like to take advantage of those by putting on more than one contract. All right, so that's Tuesday. Let's take a look at Wednesday. All right, pretty much same thing for Wednesday. Now, this is the night where I actually only made like $26 the whole night. And that had to do with put size on one trade that didn't work out too well. But you know what? I still came out green at the end of the day, and that's what's important. Also, you are going to have days where you may not, or a session you may not be green, and that's okay too. The last thing you want to do when you're trading is something we stress quite a bit in the live chat room is if you have a loss, you want to recover it slowly. We're not looking to try to make it all back in 1 or 2 trades. You can recover, but you have to back off and work your way out of it. So anyhow, I started this night with I think I had my first trade out of the gate was a win, and then there was a second trade I put some size on, actually went into the red, and then I just kind of worked my way out of it. And since I stop at 2 hours, after 2 hours, I was at $26. Had I traded more, I know I could have brought it back. Market started getting really strong, but I'm showing the results only over a 2-hour period of time. So I want to keep these numbers pretty consistent here, and this is only over a 2-hour period of time. So anyway, kind of similar to yesterday, 5 trades, 2 losses, but this is the end. So the others obviously had much higher winning ratios, but I just want to stick with the yen this week to show you all just the yen and what these nightly trades look like. All right. Let's go to Thursday. Okay, here we go. Thursday, much higher win ratio. These are, once again, all naked signals, no filtration whatsoever. Still a good night overall. I think we had, 1 loss? 6 trades and 1 loss. Once again, there's one of those really strong setups right there. I usually don't do size on longs. Once again, I teach you all that. But there are ways of putting size on. There is a way to time it, and also the direction. Whether you want to put size on a buy or a short, it makes a huge difference. And I explain that when and how to do it, but also the direction. I typically will not put size on a buy. If I do any kind of size, it's 9 times, I'd say 99 times out of 100. It's going to be on the short side. All right. And I know the members that trade with me, they're also starting to do that and having some really good success with that. So that's something that I'm going to teach you, is if you do have size, it's, even though it's not black and white, there's some really strong indicators of when you do want to put on size and have some pretty high winning ratios. So anyway, and let's take a final look at Friday, and we'll get this thing wrapped up. Actually, you know what? There is no Friday, right? Yeah, there is no Friday. So tell you what, let's take a look at Friday day instead of Friday night. Let's take a look at that real quick. All right, here is the yen for Friday day session, and you can see it was killing it Friday. Unlike the night, I mean, you had a ton of trades here. I don't even know the number of trades. Maybe 20 trades. You had how many losses? Pretty much all wins throughout the day. One loss there, and that was it. And I hit there's one of those really strong signals right there. And that little red arrow down. It was just killing it all day Friday. I hit my objective early in the day, and then I was done. And then I just plotted everything for all the traders out there that were still coming in late or still working on hitting their objectives. But I tell you what, Friday was a very, very strong day. So anyway, that's it. If there's anything else that you all would like to see in terms of charts, just let me know. I can start putting those up for you on these recaps. If there's any particular pair that you would like to look at, I do really only trade 4 of them, though you can trade all of them. But I only have 4 main pairs that I trade: Aussie US, Euro US, the Pound US, and the US Yen. Those are my 4. But there's 3 others that are offered by NADEX. You want to trade those, you can do those as well. But they're a little bit harder to trade because the spread between the strikes are a lot larger, so it's hard to get some decent premium unless you have an indicative that opens right next to a strike price. So I will trade those from time to time, but it's not a whole lot because of that reason. So if that's what you like to see. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. You can always go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com, and get a hold of me that way. If you do have questions about my methods and my strategies, I'll be glad to answer your questions. And so that's it for this week. I will be back next week. Be trading again this Sunday night, favorite night of the week. Be trading again this Sunday night. Hopefully there won't be any problems with their platform. And then I'll be back next week to do my recap to show you how we did this coming week. Everybody, wish you all the best, and good luck in your trading. Take care. Okay, so if you're interested in learning exactly how I do this, I do offer 2 different packages. And the way this is set up is that if you want to learn about the core strategy package, now that isn't going to include all the videos. You're going to get full access to all my training videos and educational material. You're going to get full disclosure of the core strategy, which I use a lot, particularly the single and double continuation patterns. The majority of all the results that you see on my daily returns is going to be based off of those 2 patterns, okay? I also do trade the delta pattern, and I also will show you how to use the nibble strategy. The nibble strategy is designed to catch very short-term trades, and I'll show you exactly how to use that in combination with some of the other core patterns. Also, how to transition from demo to a live account. This is very important. That video is also included. As you know, it's also available on YouTube for free. But how to transition from a demo to a live account is very important. Something you need to watch. Don't just jump in and start trading in a live account. You want to learn the strategy, and you want to make sure that you're profitable. I'd say at least 9 out of every 10 days. And then when you get ready to transition to a live account, please watch the video, because there's some really good steps on how to make that transition. Also, when you purchase the package, you're going to get a 1-hour personal training with me. So you and I will do a one-on-one, and I'll make sure that you fully understand everything and how it works. Now, this package is designed to pretty much purchase and go if you'd wish. You can purchase, watch everything, and go out and trade on your own. Now, if you want to learn about the core strategy, plus the crystal ball. Basically, you're getting everything in here. You're getting the core strategy, but you're also going to get the you're going to learn the crystal ball method. That's something that's available. That's a video that is not available online. That's something you and I will once again sit down and go through and make sure you fully understand it. Now, if you decide that you want to go just with the core strategy and learn the crystal ball at some point, I'll just charge you the difference between the core strategy price and then the full price that includes the crystal ball. So I'll just charge you the difference between the two. Okay, so these are designed to basically purchase, learn them, and then go and do your own trading and so forth. Now, if you wish to join me live as I trade live every day, which I highly suggest, because what I do is I also, not only do I share my charts, but I show you where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, what strike, what price, why I'm doing it, what I'm seeing in the market. It's well worth it, and that's only going to be $50. Okay, so if you want to, once again, if you just want to learn these on your own, you can purchase the package and move on. If you want to learn the package and then also join my live trading room, chat room, then that's just $50 a month, and that's $50 reoccurring as long as you want to stay. There's no time limit, so if you want to stay 2 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just $50 a month. Okay, so if you're interested, you want to go to binaryprostrategies.com, and in there under Join Now, you're click on that little button. It'll pop up. You'll see this, and you can go ahead and purchase one of these two packages, and or if you're a reoccurring member, you can go ahead and join the monthly if you're not already part of the chat room. So any questions, as always, you can always get a hold of me by going to the website. My phone number's there, email address, and so forth. So if you like to do that, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions before you make a decision. But everything I teach is fully disclosed. I'm not holding anything back. I am here to educate. I'm not a signal provider. That doesn't do you any good by me just giving you my signals. I'm here to teach you how I see the signals, and I want you to learn them as well and be able to identify them as well as I do. And then, this way you are free to trade on your own. You don't need me around all the time. But for those that like to stay in the chat room and trade with us live every day, that's always an option as well. So that's it. Thanks once again for watching my video, and you'll have a great day.